So this is Jessie. Jessie is a pig, as you can see. Last July, we visited Jessie and we took a little biopsy, about that big, and she runs off to the farmyard, and we come back to our labs at IndieBio, where we were at the time, and we take those cells, and they're stem cells, and we separate those out, and you start to grow and multiply them. You put them in a nutrient-rich broth, and that makes them proliferate and divide, as you probably learned in biology class. And at some point, you have a bunch of stem cells, and you separate them, and then you induce them to muscle and to fat. And so then we put them together, and we make these pork sausages. In September, we had a tasting. We had about 40 people that came and tried them and said some nice things about them. They tasted really good. It tastes exactly like meat. So the first time I tasted it, we have pork muscle and pork fat. We combine together, and it tastes just like bacon. It tastes like ground up bacon. And so then we take that and we put it into a sausage. We add some spices to it, and that tastes like a sausage. So it's pretty straightforward. Because right now, 1/3 of the Earth's total arable or agricultural land that's not covered by ice is used for animal agriculture. Either the animals themselves grazing or the crops needed to feed them. And so we're going to use dramatically less land. We'll use 98% less water. We'll be emitting far less greenhouse gases because we don't create methane that cows create. We also don't create manure like nitrous oxide that comes from manure. And so, and then also the energy usage will be far less as well. So across the board, those will all be environmentally far more sustainable. If we come out with this new meat, like, hey, here's new meat, eat it. Will people look at this new meat and say, what is this Franken meat? What is this thing that you've made? And so it's worth asking why we eat the meat we eat. Like why is it that pork is really popular here? Like why in the United States do we eat a lot of turkey? Why in India do we eat a lot of goat, right? So a lot of why we eat what we eat is very culturally derived. What we can do is we can kind of start with our perception of food. We can say, like, why do we perceive food as being exceptionally delicious? Like, what is it about that? And we can control that environment to make that cell. There's only so much you can manipulate an animal to give you a different type of taste or a different type of texture. But we control the environment that the cell is in. We control all the amino acids and fatty acids and vitamins and minerals that go into the cell and then with the products that come out of the cell. And so we can make that taste really amazing. And so we can actually create tastes and textures and experiences better than any existing traditional slaughtered products. We can also make this more healthy. So instead of saturated fats, we can make omega-3 fatty acids. It's still extremely expensive. So these sausages, the ones that you saw there, they're about $2,500 or $3,000 each when we made them. So the prices come down quite a bit. So they're about, in our case, that's about $190 per sausage, and it's a 100-gram sausage that we're making. So in the beginning, yes, it will be more expensive because the technology is expensive. But as our economies of scale improve, as we have more suppliers, and as more entrants in the market, then that price is going to drop so that everybody's going to be able to eat it. We're going to be going to market in about 2 years. We're going to be in restaurants first at a comparable price, and then in a few years more, you'll see that in supermarkets alongside traditionally slaughtered animals. In the beginning, we're making minced meat, and that's because we make the muscle and the fat, and we mix them together. That's pretty straightforward. As we go forward, we'll make a matrix that we'll then put our cells into, and then that will have the bite that you'll get from a steak or from a pork chop. Our product is healthier, it's tastier, and it's more sustainable. So in the future, you're going to have people say, like, well, I guess we could eat this very expensive traditional animal product, but why not just eat the cultured meat product because it tastes better and it won't kill me?